Hey guys, good evening. So good evening all of you. This is Premsai. I'm again back with, as promised, um, with one of the topic where we can integrate focus. Okay. So hi Gulshan, hi Vivan, AJ. Okay. AJ not audible, visible. Okay. So just wanted to understand. Am I audible, visible, both? Just give me a yes. Thank you, Vivan. Vivan. Hi, Saurabh, Gulshan, hi, uh, Nikhil, hi, Pushkar. Is this happening? Yeah, it is happening. Working well. Thank you so much. So, all set to start. So, today's topic is one of the most popular topic which has been a part of our life, isn't it? So, the media diet. So, let me ask you a question. So, what exactly goes in your mind when you went through this particular topic, the perfect media diet? Um, can you just answer me with one, maybe a couple of words or one sentence? What do you understand by this? If I ask you a question, do you have a perfect media diet? Okay. So I guess you understand what it is all about having a perfect media diet. Okay, too much instant. Okay, so can you specify too much means? Very hard in today's day. Absolutely, I can understand bullshit. And mindless scrolling. Yes, yeah. So when I say media, I am not specific about only social media. I when I say media, I mean everything, even Netflix, even all that, maybe all the media, even a written media, print media as well. Fake media today, hard to know. Absolutely. So as we all know that we go for a mindless scrolling. So as you all know that being a focus mastery coach, I'm here to again help you to create that awareness. So if you remember last session or the first episode of this session, we had discussed about the flashlight. I don't know whether you have gone through that. If you haven't, you can go and check that. So how to renovate all four homes? When I say all four homes, I mean the body, mind, emotions, and energies, because this is where we live till we live on this earth, isn't it? And when we see that, as in the last session also I told you that Diwali tak rukne ki zarurat nahi hai to clean that house. We can do it periodically. And when we talk about this media, perfect media diet, we have to see that first thing, are we actually addicted to this media or not? So the first thing is why it is needed and what will happen if you don't do it. And or how do you know that you are in addiction? It's a very simple thing to understand, because if you have seen, and I have seen, even the youth and also professionals, we are in the illusion that I am not addicted. मैंने तो थोड़ा सा ही खाया, so if you see, even obesity also, you if you counter them that आप ज़्यादा खा रहे हो या whatever it is, they are convinced that whatever they are eating is a good, a balanced diet. So similarly, that awareness is not that you are into that addiction zone. So that's the first thing. How do you know that you are, into that addiction? Simple thing. If you can't stop, you are addicted. I work for a media company, so I know. Yeah, what they do, all algorithms to make us consume more. Absolutely. So it's all about consumption. Thank you, Sneha. So we are we mindful about our consumption? Okay. We all understand that we are fond of junk food, you know, pizza, burger. I don't know what would be your favorite food that you would really want to eat a little more. When we come to perfect media diet, as you have already answered that um, more of Insta, more of Twitter, or more of Netflix. I have got a lot of clients saying that I can't sleep at the right time because of like a lot of sleepless night, and then they move to that zone of insomnia. So there are a lot of negative aspect of it. We know that it is not helping us anymore. So the first thing is how to diagnose, how to do the diagnosis, that how do you know that you're addicted. So as I said, it is simple that if you can't stop, you are addicted. And leading self, because we all aspire to become a leader of our, whatever we do professionally. We all aspire to go to the next level, isn't it? And become a leader. And we all also aspire that people should follow us. So the first thing is, are you able to self-regulate and manage yourself, your body, mind, emotions, and energies? If you're not able to do so, then definitely you will mess up with the other mind, body, emotions, and energy. Right? So that's the first thing, that how do you know if you can't stop? So just observe yourself, and you start understanding that how do I function in a day? How do I conduct a day? And media diet is very much like a real diet. Okay. Because it is technologically, it is available. माने नहीं है इसका कि we need to take the burden of all the news that is there around. So the first thing is, you need to understand that, am I addicted? And you will get the answer when you ask yourself, am I able to stop whenever it is required to stop? Because being a leader, the first thing is you should know when to stop. When I say when to stop, I mean every single thing. Khana khate ho, you need to know when to stop, because that decision makes you wise, and at the same time you will be more focused and mindful while you are eating. Similarly with the media diet as well. Do you know when to stop? You're exercising. Do you know when to stop? You might have seen people, they nurture passion to that extent that it becomes obsession for them. Right? You understand? Like, how do you know that you are not in that obsession zone? You are in a passion zone. To be mindful. So even at times a good habit can also backfire you. Habit is again a habit, right? A conscious habit makes sense, because each day your body, your mind needs a different kind of attention. And if you are not self-aware, so flashlight kiske paas hai? Like as you said, like mindless scrolling. So that time you are giving your flashlight to the Insta. No doubt it is at times necessary to give your flashlight to your mentors, your well-wishers, so that they would show something great in you which you can't see by yourself. That is important. But then how often would you like to, or you are automatically giving your flashlight to someone, some media, where you become unaware, it goes in an autopilot mode. So that's the first thing, like just to ask yourself, flashlight kiske haath mein hai? And as I said, how to start addressing this, because if we do not, address this, we definitely, we are suffering, as always, like we all know that we are suffering the consequences. So, okay, so this makes me ask you second question. What is it that when you are in whatever the media that you love to be in, it could be a mindless scrolling, maybe Insta or Facebook or Netflix or whatever it is, or maybe a movie or YouTube. Like I've seen people continuously watching YouTube videos, and there are people who are news junkies. So सुबह से शाम तक they want to watch, and they want to listen a lot of news. And after this pandemic, I'm seeing like in 2020, like continuously throughout the day, almost I think 6-7 hours, people are watching news. So how does it make you feel? If you can use in the chat box and give your answers, how does it make you feel? Whatever that media that you think, just observe and think and go to that one of the four homes, or maybe think about, maybe you have gone to that level that you are emotionally attached to that media, could be, or you have just started and you are falling into that second zone. So how does it make you feel? Okay, so Nikhil says horrible. What about others? So start observing that it makes you feel mindless. Absolutely. So definitely you will get some signals in your body, mind, emotions. And definitely the consequence would be the energy levels will fluctuate according to that. Very slow. It makes you feel very slow. Absolutely. So observing that. Now, how do you observe that? Best thing when you want to progress, or when you are working on yourself, like you are into the zone of self development, it is always better to note it down. So I would recommend you to make a list of the tasks that you do on a daily basis. Subah se sham tak. If you are seen from nature also, you understand that half a day is a day and half of the day is night. That's how it is balanced, isn't it? So if you see the offices, also all the corporates and working hours, that is almost 8 hours. And then 1-2 घंटा traffic में जाता है. And these days we are working from home. So that time is saved. However, we also need 8 hours or 7 hours of sleep. So if you just observe your 24 hours, you will see, you will definitely get a lot of insight. Starting from, I have also seen that people who are, they have a different set of timetable, they have a different set of schedule for weekends and weekdays. Okay, so Monday to Friday, one kind of schedule that they follow, and over a weekend, they follow a different set of schedule. Am I right? Has it happened with you also? Do you also have a different kind of schedule on weekdays and weekends? Yeah, because the trigger is outside, because the intention is not integrated, because the purpose is not integrated, because your relationship with your time and energy is from a different lens. Sunday is a lazy day. See, that's how you label Sundays. हालांकि संडे तो बस एक दिन ही होता है. How to manage if your work requires you to be on social media? I'm coming to that sort of. Okay. That's a great question. Okay. So when you start observing, you will see that how do you function? Like how do you function? So सुबह उठ के, what is that one thing? So एक दिन बैठो, थोड़ा सा अपने साथ बैठो, एक शायर बन जाओ थोड़ा सा, एक कॉपी पेन पकड़ के बैठो and just start writing and noting down that the first thing, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up, and then after that what do you do. So make a list of every hour, okay, and see how do you conduct your day and how many hours do you find yourself being productive, and how many hours you shift or you move to that autopilot mode and you are not aware of it, and then you for that one Insta video and then you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, or maybe एक news से समझ में नहीं आता, you go for the next one and the next one. So it's a kind of junk. I would say it's a junk food. जैसे ये burger, pizza and all that होता है, अति is always, it will have its own consequences. And as in my last session also I said that focus actually is an outcome it's a result, it's a consequence of the process. And I also said in the last session that each moment our life gives a multi choice questionnaire, that इस moment पे मैं ये 5 options मेरे को दिख रहे हैं. Okay, so I can study, or I can work on this particular project, or I can exercise, or I can sit and scroll, or I can just chit chat. So you will have each moment, you will have 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many. We all are unique, we'll have some options. So you have to say no to few. It's not about saying no totally to that few. You have to say later to few and select one at that point of time. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you choose the option for a self-care for the next 1 hour and schedule your this habit, whatever it is, little later part of the day. So ये नहीं कि you become deprived of that, no, not to go in that platform. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. A perfect media diet is जैसे कि आप balanced diet खाना खाते हो. When you do not eat, so आप खा सकते हो. Can you eat only rice and rice and rice every single day? You need a dal and sabzi and roti and chapati and achar and papad, right? It's a complete diet. ऐसे ही खाते हैं, right? And we enjoy that, the whole complete wholesome meal. So similarly, we can schedule that and prioritize that to a certain part of the day which is not overlapping with your productivity. Make sense? Does it make sense? So you will not feel deprived, you will not become crazy, your mind will not backfire you कि देख उसको. So because you have made peace with that, कि if it is Insta and you love Insta, that is your first love, you can say, hey, love Insta, and I'm going to come to you, but at this point of time, right? At this point of time, hold on there. This is the time, let me do some self-care or whatever that really would make help you to become resourceful, place you well. Yeah. So when you do not do that, definitely you kind of whatever the sentences or the in the chat that you've written, you will definitely come to that zone of that when you start using that language like mindless scrolling, because you are aware of it that you are doing a mindless scrolling, right? So how about observing your all four homes on a daily basis? In khali observation se hota nahi hai, because you cannot handle everything here in the mind and do all the calculations. So pen and paper, take a pen and paper and just write on and see, just because we all are so different. See how it works. Make a list of all the tasks that you are really involved in that particular day. And at the same time, check your media presence hours also. Like wo to possible hai, because you can see your phone, or maybe just check your Netflix. Maybe phone also you can check like how many hours the screen time. It is really there, right? You can check how many hours are you spending there. And once you see the whole thing, that's the diagnosis part, that now you are actually like a doctor. You are doing a self-diagnosis. You're analyzing your day. And then you can see, then you observe and sit with that and see that where the adjustment can be done. It's not about that us media ko kaat do, because you immediately you will not be able to do that, right? And if that is your something that you really love for, then you can schedule it in some part of the day. That's your choice where you need to schedule. If it is the last part of the day, you can do that, or maybe somewhere, and commit to that the scheduled time, from where to where. That way you will make your mind learn about when to stop. Because itne saal or itne mahine, when you are tuning your mind to cross the border again and again, and you do not have a particular time to stop, it will take a bit time, and it is okay. It is okay that you take a little time and see how strategically you can schedule that the Twitter or the Netflix hours or whatever it is. See how it works. And also the consequences that you get from that, observe that as well. How do you feel better, or how it is? Because anything that you do, you will have a sense in your body. You will have that feeling. You might have seen that, social media, anxiety and all that, because now it has come to the body level. The symptoms is showing in the body. So when you become observant about that, you will start understanding this, and you will start looking at the symptoms. Okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling at my body level. This is what am I actually getting in my thoughts, which I'm not able to process. And when you start writing, you will be able to get a scheduled time, and you can integrate that time in your day and see how it works. Second thing, the third tip that I would like to give you is, as Saurav is asking, how to manage your work requires you to be on social media. So now, if I'm not a news anchor, does it make sense that I would spend many hours on just watching news? I mean, how does it help me? So check the alignment of your work. If I am IT professionals and I do coding, I have projects and to do and all that, then social media I'm using it for entertainment, then it has to be in that entertainment category only. But if you are a digital marketing person, as I said, the productive hours are 6 to 8 hours. You are doing your work on social media. In between, if you are really slipping into that, scrolling mode of mind, like with mindless scrolling mode, then there is a problem. So check the alignment. What exactly is your nature of job, and does it really require to stay in social media for that longer time? Then you will get an answer that in between that social media, because if you are a digital marketer or your job is to stay in social media, then stay mindfully. How to help team members to be more productive and not go on to social media channels? Okay, so now this is a very generic one, and also it needs a lot of specification. So productivity, Vivan, is always aligned and connected to the brain. And as the brain functions, the first thing is, if you are working in a particular project for around 60 minutes or 90 minutes, you will see that depending upon the intensity of or the capability of your ability to focus in that particular task or project, whatever you are doing. It could be, if you are really doing something with an exercise or meditation, it may have a little more. Maybe you will be able to focus in that particular work for 60 minutes or so, or could be for 90 minutes as well. But in between, you need to integrate that break. So here is a question to all of you. If you are being gifted a new, car or a bike, and with very advanced technology, and you get a manual, and your manual says all good about that bike or car, whatever that vehicle is, and one statement it would be that it doesn't have any brake, would you ride it? You might be uh, you know able to, you might be loving speed, because I've seen a lot of people, they really enjoy speed. But if this indication or this message is given to you in that manual that there is no brake in this bike, would you try it even? So think about this, and then you will understand that productivity is very much related to the pauses that you take. And when like we in our language also we say कि हम बोलते हैं ना, हमको ब्रेक चाहिए, थोड़ा सा काम से फ्री चाहिए, ब्रेक चाहिए. So in that case, how do you integrate breaks? And break means, I've seen, even people said that break means hopping from one screen to another. Now that is not break. So exactly break means actually breaking the pattern of what you are doing at that particular time, and get up from that particular place and have some fresh air. And the moment you add that pause, you will see your brain is again reset for the next 90 minutes. Okay, so I would say don't believe me. You start doing it by yourself and experience it. So what exactly are you doing? You're oiling your machines. You're oiling your four homes. You're making a pattern which you are breaking it with a batch of timing that you are integrating. And with this 5 minutes break or maybe a 7 minutes break, when you come back, you will see you are again all set to rock for the next 90 minutes. Okay, so that's one of the tip that you can really integrate with your team and find out ways how to integrate the break, which would also enhance the productivity at the same time, would help you to work in a space where everybody would give their best. Because the you cannot work continuously for a stretch of 3 hours without having a break in between. That's not going to work. Your capacity of the brain or the productivity will definitely come down. Okay. how much social media is bad? There is nothing as such called bad or good, Sanjeev. It is all about how it is helping you. As see, when you are talking in this language of good and bad, so you will be living in polarities. You understand, right? You cannot understand moon if you do not pay attention to the full moon and new moon. You have to understand both the aspect of the moon and also the in betweens, the gray areas. The crescent, जो चांद आती है. So to understand a day, you have to also consider the night. So good and bad is all about, is it useful for you? That should be the question. How to define if you're consuming too much or too little. As I said, if you can't stop, you're addicted. Just observe how are you behaving, how are you conducting. Yeah, I think I have answered your question, Sanjay. How to avoid clickbait ads when consuming content. Now, again, it is, you have your, the fingers and the switch is right in, the flashlight should be in your hand, Nikhil, so that you can use that. Okay. Yeah. So from starting, how do you know that you are into addiction? If you can't stop, you are addicted. That's the first point. Second thing is, media diet is actually very much related to the real diet. सब कुछ होना चाहिए, काम भी होना चाहिए, exercise भी होना चाहिए, मस्ती भी होनी चाहिए. Everything should be having some place in your daily routine. So look at in that approach, and so that you can schedule that. So जो भी time पे you are used to, or you are in that autopilot mode to move to that media, and then you are not able to stop yourself. When you look at your days and when you start making notes, when you observe your whole day, how do you conduct, you will find, when you write it, क्या होता है ना, everything would be in front of you. And there you find a strategy. There is no formula to something that, okay, A plus B whole square. There is no formula as such. We all are so different, and our nature of work is also different. Okay? So when you understand how does it help you, like now Saurabh says that he is maybe, if I am assuming that he is into that social media work. So for him, strategy would be different. If Sneha's job is different, or my nature of job is different, so we will all have a different approach to respond to that social media and integrate that media in our life so that it doesn't overpower us. That's the idea. So it's like the first chapati when you are hungry. Okay, then the second chapati, satisfied. The third chapati, really? Do you really want? You can ask that question right there. Okay, so when you schedule it, what happens? You are not depriving of any nutritions. Like आप अगर दाल खाना छोड़ देते हो, या means your meal is not complete or wholesome, then you will crave for micronutrients, right? You might have seen कि craving होती है मिठाई की, craving होती है ice cream की, craving. So each craving is a signal that something is not right in your body, mind, emotions. Something is missing there. That's the reason that craving is there. So when you look at this approach, when you perceive that, how is your relationship with yourself? How significant is your life? So when you start questioning these things, then you will be able to do the same, but you will find a healthy way to schedule that particular habit to a certain time, and this one little shift will absolutely make a full different kind of altogether a different kind of result that you will get, right? And the moment you will see that with a little shift from here and there, you will see that you will not label your Sundays as a lazy day. Even Sunday, you would also look for taking some rest for sure, because Monday to Saturday we are working. At the same time, you will not declare as a lazy day, because now you've got an opportunity and your perception towards Sunday would change. It's all about the relationship that we have with that particular task, with that particular time, with that particular, the relationship that you have with your company decides your decisions, isn't it? So each time, each moment, life gives us a couple of options. The idea is to pick one option and stick to that. Say no to others and assign time when. And then the next moment, when this task is over, then go to the next task. And when the whole day, whatever, like suppose for example you have assigned yourself that from 5 to 5:30 I'm going to spend on Insta. Be mindful, be inclusive while you are doing that. And at the same time, when you are involving your whole self to the process, you will be satisfied. You will not feel that craziness or depriving or that craving that अरे आज का तो नहीं हुआ. Yeah, make sense, guys? And the third aspect is I would definitely talk about emotions. Emotions, like when we are in a habit of in an autopilot mode, I would say, watching something and then you are not able to stop somewhere, then if the deeper layer if you go, you will find definitely, if you start observing, then there could be a reason for loneliness for which you are doing that. There could be a reason for escaping from something. That could be the reason that when you are saying yes to media, um, for long hours, definitely you would be saying no to something else. Find out that. Okay. And it could be also because of kuch nahi hai, just like that. Kuch karne ko nahi hai, just like that. So you can find out or you can replace that what all other thing that you can do other than that. If your dose of media diet for that particular day is done and still you have time, doesn't mean that because you are the mobile is very much accessible to you or the channels are very much accessible to you, doesn't mean that you have to go and do that. You give your presence to that particular whatever the craving that you are having. So you can be mindful about that. What is it that am I escaping from? If that is the case, so I'm giving you a perspective just to integrate that mindfulness, that conscious focus within your mind, body, emotions, so that you will start having a different perspective towards yourself, a different relationship towards yourself, and making your life more significant the whole day. And once you take care of your one day, your week is taken care of, because every day you will have the same perspective and you will take care of that particular today, right? And that's how the week is taken care of, and that's how the month is taken care of. That's how the year would be taken care of. So a conscious focus is all about integrating these little small practices, how you can really conduct your day and observing yourself and checking all those four homes, taking an observer perspective of the schedule that you're having in that particular day, right? And I think somebody has said, like, we shape our tools and then our tool shapes us. So tool को tool रहने दिया जाए तो better है. Tool should not be consuming us. हम tool को consume करेंगे. Right? So that is one of the perspective where you understand that your life is significant. And the moment you start understanding that this particular fundamental aspect of it, you will see that the whole scenario changes, right? Yeah. So, okay. So, any questions? I want to make it very short and crisp so that you it doesn't have like overwhelming situation for yourself. So next time when we meet, I would like you to go to all of your four homes. So when I'm saying go to, it's not a physical go to. Sit with your four homes and observe about your body. So when you are scrolling your media, and what is a thin line that it turns to a junk? What is the thin line that it, khana, बहुत सारा khana is a junk. So there's a thin line. So be observant about, जैसे हमारी थाली complete wholesome meal होता है, the perfect media diet is all about how aware you are कि कितना मेरे लिए enough है for that particular day. And as I said, schedule that. So I want you to observe all of your four homes and also write down, definitely write down, because this is something I really insist with my clients and they do it and they have also got a lot of results in that. they simply would strategize your body. Actually, we have all the answers that we need within ourselves. The only thing is थोड़ी सी धूल चढ़ी हुई है. So what I'm trying to do is kind of decluttering that, cleaning that, so that the intelligence will itself come up. So it's all like a seed. So do you tell a seed? Do we seed को हम बोलते हैं क्या ऐसे grow करो? The only thing is we design the environment like that, and the seed does its own work. And what is the environment? थोड़ा seed को push करो मिट्टी के नीचे, थोड़ा sunlight चाहिए, थोड़ा पानी चाहिए, that's it. So what we are doing here is, when you observe, you will yourself know that okay, इसको यहाँ से थोड़ा सा हटा के, it's like playing a game of इस schedule को यहाँ से हटा के and यहाँ पे place करना है, something like that. So you can arrange all of your whatever things. And now this time what happens? You are in social media, or you are also watching Netflix, you are watching news. Now you are watching it mindfully. Now it is a conscious focus. It's a decision that you have taken, that now, not this time, this has to be placed here. So this time the flashlight is in your hand, the self-awareness is in your hand. You are doing the same work with awareness. And this one little thing is going to place you in such a beautiful, resourceful way that you can see how your productivity just doubles, or maybe triples, or maybe 8 times or 10 times more than what you're doing. Less is more. कम करके भी ज़्यादा result. And we Indians, we are so good in that. ना कहाँ फायदा है, कहाँ benefits है. So how about using this strategy within our own self? And then Sundays and weekends, come on, these are the opportunities. उस दिन तो companies वाले wherever you're working, no one is saying that you need to respond to this mail, come here and we'll have to a meeting and all that, right? ये सब कुछ भी उस time पे नहीं होता. That's the day where you command yourself and see what all best you can do. Maybe hobbies, something, singing, anything. Yeah, I mean, just go back to your schools and see, think about what are the things you always wanted to do. Sunday is the time. So it's not about a lazy day. Sunday is a day of possibilities. So when you reframe this Sunday as a day of possibilities, because what you say, your language becomes your reality. So बेचारा Sunday को तो पता भी नहीं होगा कि वो खुद lazy है. So what I mean to say with humor, that instead of naming, you can name it reframe it in a way that that language becomes your reality and you manifest your dreams. Okay, we are not here to go to the office and come back and just do and live and watch some Netflix and then sleep. This kind of monotonous life would at times, give you a space where you would definitely start questioning yourself. I mean, not that, like, I'm not feeling that great. I mean, मैं कर क्या रही हूँ, or what am I doing? मजा नहीं आ रहा life में. So to add that, those little awareness and that little spices in life is all about being consciously focusing your day. When you zero down to a day, you will see a lot of things. You will be able to diagnose properly. And the moment you diagnose your own schedule for a Sunday or a Saturday or all the working days or maybe working hours, you will be able to schedule every single thing consciously. That's what is conscious focus is all about. Do you consider content that is like LinkedIn is still productive? Sanjeev, now this is a very subjective experience. For me, being a coach, if I see something related to productivity or something related to body, mind, emotions, and energy, that is useful for me. For you, I think anything that is related to self-development, being a human, it makes sense to us. Apart from that, if you are a singer or you are maybe an anchor or maybe something like that, so something related to your subject on LinkedIn makes sense. As I said, now because it is technologically available, मतलब नहीं है कि जितने सारे channels के जितने सारे content है, you need to consume that. You will not be able to process that. जैसे एक दिन का, can you eat lunch, breakfast and dinner, everything in one time? We can't, right? It has some specific time. Morning पे breakfast होता है because we are breaking the fast, and then the lunch. And these days तो बीच वाला ये को भी brunch बोलते हैं because it's a combination of breakfast and lunch, so brunch. And then the dinner. So we cannot eat. It's not that we are choosing not to eat. We cannot eat. नहीं होगा. You cannot eat all the three time का खाना in one time. Similarly, each day has its dosage. What is your dose for that particular day? वो उतना, because drug is again a drug, it's a medicine if it is taken in a trace amount. बहुत सारा एक साथ ड्रग्स खा लोगे तो what happens? It becomes a poison to your body. So our body mind will respond to a particular situations, whatever you decide to do or you do not decide to do. अरे मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, how am I getting these consequences? Because you have not done, that's the reason you are. So each moment, that multi-choice question life gives you, I would recommend that pick the one which makes sense to you, pick the one which matters to you, and the rest can be scheduled later. Is it going good, guys? Is it helpful? So let me summarize. The first thing to diagnose is about to understand, how do I know that I'm addicted? If I can't stop, I'm addicted. Number one. Number two is observe. Observe your day. Likho. Take a pen and paper, sit and write each hour ka lekha joka. What do you do? If you really want to come out of it, because I have seen a lot of clients, they ask a lot of questions, but then willingness to change is also important. So everything is, if you think your life is significant for yourself, for sure you will, access that potential that is hidden, which you also don't know how much potential you are carrying with yourself. Like a seed doesn't know कि कितना बड़ा पेड़ बनेगा. It has to be, put in a context and design the environment. So design the environment for yourself. So how will you do it? You will not be able to do it unless you diagnose. So diagnosis कैसे करोगे? Observing your day. And once you're done with that, you write it and you see how are you functioning the whole day. Make two lists, weekend wala and weekdays wala, and see what all can be changed. And then now you can play the game well. Okay, this can be scheduled here, that can be schedule everything. And once you're done with that, stick to that. Maybe in a couple of days you will see that, okay, this I had scheduled at 5 o'clock, but it is not working. Be flexible to change. I can shift it to 6 o'clock or maybe 7 or maybe 8, but have a cutoff time before you go to bed. Because you cannot consume too much of data. Usme kya hoga? You will have indigestion problem. So what I mean to say, your mind also has a capacity. It is not going to process everything for that particular day. And that's when it intervenes your sleep. So little small thing, and mind, body, emotions, energies are not four different elements. They're very integrated with each other. They're very integrated with each other. There is no work and life balance. It's all about life and integrate everything in that life. And work also becomes a part of that. So I would say it is a life balance where work is a part of it. And when I say life, then it again is a kind of a aspect that we have. So we want happiness, we want career, we want our promotion to be the right place, we want money, we want fun and recreation. See, that's a complete wholesome meal. So check once, visit your all four homes, body, mind, emotions, energy, and देखो ये चारों की सफाई हो रही है time पे. Okay, be ready to reset whenever it is required. Be ready to renovate with creative ideas. And इसमें क्या होगा? What you are doing, you are not depriving yourself. Media छोड़ने के लिए नहीं है. You have to schedule it, and then what you will see is you are living your day with intentions and with purpose. That itself will yield a lot of productivity, and you will see a lot of great results within yourself, which you will also get surprised. एक बार try करके देखो, just have it for 7 days and then you decide. And yes, the process will change as and when it is required. Be conscious about the process, your day, your habit. Every day I love running. Yeah, if the next day when I start running, I see that it is raining outside, I should have a plan B. Because मैं बाहर जाके if I run, it will affect my health. So that conscious, because it's not about habit having in autopilot mode. Anything that is in autopilot mode is not going to work. Gears and brake आप ही के हाथ में है. You have to change the gears as and when required with the speed, कभी कम, कभी ज़्यादा, कभी You need to go in an uphill, come down, and then you have to be conscious about yourself. So have the flashlight within yourself and observe all of your four homes and see what strategy can you really integrate in between. And uh, I have shared the I would invite you all to join the F Factor Focus Mastery, the group which I have, where I keep sharing a lot of tips and tools which would help you to integrate that consciousness so that you can focus. Because focus, we don't know how to focus, and you will not be able to focus if you are not having that flashlight within you. So I'm talking about the awareness. So awareness nahi rahega, you will not be able to focus in any aspect of life. So you would get a lot of such kind of tools and tips in that focus F Factor group, which is a private group. And I would really appreciate if you can join this and be a part of this community. Okay, so I'm sure I have answered a few questions. Nikhil, Sanjeev, I'm sure you also got an answer. So there is no such thing that ये मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि नहीं अच्छा लगता है. Whether it is working for you or not. There is nothing called black and white. Life exists in the gray areas. There is nothing called good and bad. What is good for you may be bad for me. Thanks, Nikhil. Okay, so I would definitely be waiting there in the F Factor group. If you are joining in, I would really love to help you there. Thank you so much. And it's a quite long session it went. So stay tuned next Thursday, same time with a new topic. And share your thoughts once you start working on that. And I'm sure your life is significant. So as I am, understanding that there's a reason coming here and creating that awareness, you would also take that perception and make your life great. Next Thursday, Gulshan, same time, 7. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook also. So once you come to the F Factor, you will get all the details right there. Okay, guys. So stay tuned for the next Thursday, and in between 7 days, good time to try and share your ideas the next week. And stay tuned for our next new topic. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Maybe from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make the best use of it. This time, Sunday, a day of possibilities. Thanks, Shivani.